Hello from nowhere. I'm Kurt the Gardener, and we're high atop Mystic Mountain in the fantastical land of nowhere. And if you've come by to visit and join me today, thank you so much. If you want, hit the subscribe button, the like button, ring the bell. All the other iterations of all these things everyone keeps putting in their videos, do that. Sounds great if you want. All right, so today I want to talk about not so much about my personal journey here, um, of the spiritual variety, but more about the mechanics of it. We're going to go to the essence level. I'm going to give you some tips. All right. Try to lay out not so much a rough roadmap, but more of how you can recognize the scenery a little bit, how you can read the landscape a little bit, and a few tips on how not to get lost. The spiritual journey is like a garden. So when you set out on your own spiritual journey, if you haven't already, I want to try to give you a rough roadmap so that you'll understand if you're heading in the right direction or not. I want to help you out by sharing some tips to help you stay on your path. And it is my deepest hope and desire for you that you don't fall off or wander into the wilderness for X amount of years or decades of your life. Now, I can't tell you how to walk your path or even what your path is or where your path is leading to or taking you to, or even what it'll look like when you get there. But I can tell you the direction to head in. The spiritual path on your map is this. In every direction you go, twist you encounter, and turn you take, in every event, circumstance, and situation that you encounter, you have knowing, understanding, and finally, realizing. These three are stages, just like a plant goes through in its life cycle. The first stage is as a sprout that has just burst and emerged from the ground with its false leaves intact. At that stage, pertaining to people, we usually find the base level, the ground level, or maybe people who stalled at that level. It happens. You know, it's easiest to think of it as like the preachers of dogma at the superficial level, literal scripture, religious laws and their regulations, and some rituals. Now, I want to specify something here. Some of those things do have an actual meaning and a reason. It's not by default that they are something, just like you are not by default something or this or that. All right? This is the stage of knowing. And just to drive this point home, I'm going to give you an example. So in my neck of the woods, there's basically two camps. Now, there could be more than that, of course. Nothing's carved in stone here. One camp are the people who go to the church every day. Their spirituality is very, very shallow, if it's there at all, and they're going through motions, it seems. They're the ones who usually go, "You've gone off the beaten trail. You're going to go to hell for that," and this and that. We know the type. And then on the other end of my neck of the woods of that spectrum, you have the absolute beginner, the one who genuinely wants to be seeking. They heard that maybe they've got a need in their life that isn't met and they can't figure out how to meet it. And they heard that love is here in this building with these people and God is love. And so if I come here, eventually I will find love, I will feel love, and maybe I'll be better at loving others. I'll grow spiritually this way. This is the beginner level, the level of knowing. In the second stage, we find a plant before production of flowers or food, but one that probably has the blooms. It's got its beautiful permanent leaves, its real leaves. It's got its glorious green stalk. It's got the bloom on top. And it's just at the living level, the life level, if you will. In people, this stage appears as those who grasp everything from their first stage, they've grown in such a way they have gotten past the superficial face value literalness and can understand the concepts, the reasons, the implications and teachings, as in the reason, the why, and the reasoning for those things. They also understand something like this. Some of them they've grown a little bit, but they're stalling. They've got a lot of resistance in this form. They go, well, thou shalt not lie means thou shalt not lie, period. Or you go to hell, or God will get mad at you. And then there's the other ones who say it says thou shalt not lie, but when human life is involved and something of that caliber is on the line, then you can lie. And they that's how they understand. There's a great understanding there. The other side is also an understanding, but it's whatever. It's up to debate. I'm going with the if someone's going to die if I don't tell a lie, I'm going to lie because is the human life is much more valuable than the lying part. All right, pick up your cross and carry it. So the next stage is what I am going to say is the final stage for this example. The final stage is the production of the plant or the vegetable and the fruit, the flower, whatnot. It's the production stage. It is those who have realized the teachings of others. They have gone way past everything else. And it is like the integration or the download part. This is the stage where it becomes part of you on a deeper level that's beyond words. This level is where all of the practice, the teachings, etc., are now within you as a part of you. Just like your heart beats and lungs breathe, so too does what you have realized now play a role in you. These are checkpoints like the stops you make along the way. We're going to, like I said, I'm not going to give you a roadmap. I'm going to teach you how to read the scenery and understand where the path is. Just like walking through a dense forest, there's always a path if you can spot it. Now, just like everything that starts and ends or lives and dies, just like everything is cyclical, so too is this cycle of knowing, understanding, and realizing. However, nothing really ever dies or is born for that matter. And even though the plant may die, all of its experiences, its your collected wisdom, intellect, knowingness, understandingness, realizations, and whatnot live on within the seeds. Seeds are all about potential. Seeds are just like people. They are full of greatly unlimited, vast, unending potential. But just like people, just like seeds and people, not all of those seeds will sprout. Now, I'm going to take just a moment to simplify and bring this all together. I'm going to attempt to demystify the mystical so that the truth can come forth in illumination and glorious beauty. The first stage is about the teachings, the sprouting, the knowing. The second stage is about grasping those teachings, the living, the understanding. And the third stage, integration and downloading. The teachings become a part of you, the production, the realizing. Then the cycle ends, and you leave the destination only to find another one off in the distance. It's like climbing the mountain and you get to the top of the tall, brutal mountain, and right before you, you couldn't see it before, but there stands an even bigger mountain. However, each time you leave a destination, you carry with you the seeds from the previous destination. the experiences and wisdom once again. They don't ever leave you. They just grow within you. And you have to be careful you don't turn them into concepts. You'll put yourself into a concept itself, and then you'll only live within your mind. I want you to understand something. While I have laid out a very basic understanding of how a spiritual path can be known and uncovered, each one is different because each one is unique. But each one is a garden, and you are the gardener. That is miraculous and wonderful. The more choice you have of what you sow and reap is indicative of your skill as this gardener. It's a spiritual practice, or you can see it as practicing life in a lot of ways. And the better you get at it, the more skill you have, and the better gardener of this garden you will become. All you have to do is realize that there is no spiritual path so much as there is a spiritual garden. A map is within a square. Think of this as I'm saying this. You see road maps and paths on it and in it. They are for the beginner. Just like identities and concepts of spiritual things, they're for the beginner. They're the seeds. But at some point in your own time, you're going to realize this box that I drew a map in has all this extra space around the path and the destinations. And all that extra space is what you can cultivate in and on. And you'll say, I can plant anywhere with any seed that I choose. Then you'll probably see the map with all its roads and paths and destinations exactly as they are, that they are clutter to begin with. That's part of the joke. LOL for the new age. LOL. Because it really is a joke. A lot of these things are a joke, not because it's insulting to them and not because haha how ridiculous, but because it's not laughing at it, it's laughing with it because it's laughing at you. But to avoid the sorrow and the misery and the suffering, you learn how to laugh with it. So you're laughing at yourself because of this. Because things like the ego, it's something you realize it and it clicks in you what the ego is, and then all of a sudden you have that you have the aha, that eureka moment, the epiphany, and it clicks, and you understand. You've realized it. It's beautiful. You have that little feeling inside. That's how you know you really got it. It connects and you feel it. So go plant some seeds, make some messes, and break some stuff. Make mistakes. Don't be afraid. However, that part about breaking some stuff, that one, that's esoteric. It's not literal. So don't go breaking stuff, please. At least physical stuff. Break bad habits and break conditioning. All right, break your cage, your mental mind, and run free. Because that's all part of it too. Learning, it's said that learning can be hard. If you've ever seen a grown man learn how to do anything, most of the time there's a lot of cursing involved, a lot of pain. It's suffering. The pain's not the suffering. The suffering is you're seeing that person just drag through it, and they're suffering it. Women can struggle too. That's not what I mean, but it's like it's the suffering that you get a choice in, but the pain, there's no choice. You're gonna hurt at some point. And with that said, I want to also I want to tell you, you know, I want to tell you that I appreciate you coming by and you've stuck with me for these about 15 minutes now. I appreciate it. And I'm Kurt the Gardener, And I want to remind you that you're always welcome here in Nowhere. Have a good day.